Well, the University of North Florida art students, and they sculpture, and they're working on a new project called UNF Sculptures by the Sea. It's all to support arts education. Mountain Star Capital and the Lazara Family Foundation gave the school $50,000 to fund the project. Joining us now is Professor Dr. Jenny Hager, who's behind the project, and a couple of her students, David Peters and Emily Pinnell. Welcome to the show. Good to have you both here.
Thank you.
So, Professor, if I can start with you, how did this all come about?
Well, initially, the Lazara family approached UNF and said, we have this piece of property. Do you think you could put some sculptures on it and showcase what you do at UNF? And I said, that is a great idea. The project evolved and grew exponentially after that moment. And
how did the theme by the sea come about?
Well, the piece of property that the Lazaras own is located across from Ocean Front Park in Jacksonville Beach.
Yeah.
And so seaside sculptures just made sense.
So, Emily and David, we've got a couple of your sculptures here. Emily, this is an abstract. Tell me, how it came about and, what you want people to see when they see the sculpture.
Well, I guess growing up on the ocean and living in Jax Beach, just kind of this nautical atmosphere. So just kind of relating an image that relates to that, and kind of like in a spiritual sense too, like it's a skeletal structure, so the wind will move its bones.
Well, was this project even more personal for you because it does hit literally so close to home?
Yeah, I definitely took it to a personal extent too once we got the opportunity to present our proposals.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really excited when I did get the opportunity.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about art, different people see different things. And, David, we've got your sculpture over here, and I was like, oh, was it SpongeBob SquarePants Goes Green? And you said, no, actually, it represents something more, and there's a story behind it. So let's start with that.
Well, this past summer, Jenny took us on a trip up to Kentucky to build large-scale sculptures, and I'd never built a large-scale piece before. And I had a lot of issues, but came out with a successful piece, but I wanted to make an ode to that piece because I wasn't unhappy with it. So this is the ode to Franklin County, Frankfort, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And I like balance, and I like the tension that geometric forms balanced on top of each other create.
And the theme, the sea, comes into play because this would be almost like a waveform?
It's an abstract wave. It looks like it's almost curling over, and if you were to be surfing, you'd be like right in the wave or standing under the wave.
That's very cool. Jenny, it's got to be very satisfying for you to see this project come to fruition. What's the most exciting thing about it?
I really love watching the students do this project because they start with an idea, and the idea is really big, and it seems almost impossible to tackle. And then at this point, they're nearing the end, and things are coming together, and I like the moment when we get to see the sculptures in the park, and they get to celebrate their accomplishments.
Now, when the students have a vision, does it often change and morph throughout the course of the process of creating?
There are always changes that need to be made when you take something small scale and go large scale. You have to, the structure becomes quite different. And so just like any large scale project, things get modified slightly along the way, but their pieces are really similar, looking to what their models look here.
This one here, Danae? You want me to turn it towards 7? Danae wants to get a better shot. That's the one you see there on the beach that Emily put together. So if people want to go see it, the sculptures will be installed on 1st Street in Jax Beach, but you're going to have to wait until June. They'll be on display for those of you in the public to enjoy for the next year for free. Thanks very much for being here.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that Jacksonville embraces art as it does.
Me too.
Thank you very much.
Exciting.
And great pieces of art.